When I tell people we do a lot of recycling, sometimes people are surprised and I say, it's the Glencore you don't know. The history of our recycling business goes back to the early 1920s.
In the Second World War, there was a huge need for copper, and people were invited to recycle all the copper they had in order to help the war effort.
It was experimental back in those days, and it's grown from a side interest to a core functionality of the group.
Over the years, the market has changed. It is clear that getting new copper sources in terms of really mining is getting more difficult.
Copper is very important for electrical transmission, so extremely important if we are going to electrify transportation.
We need new sources of copper, so recycling is an important part of the copper supply in the world.
We were one of the first to figure out how to process end-of-life electronics or e-waste, and we have been one of the largest end recyclers of end-of-life electronics since then.
E-waste is more and more present in our life. It's coming from all the electronic devices that we are using in our everyday life. If recycling is not present, then it will be landfill. So recycling copper makes a lot of sense since copper is a metal that you can recycle indefinitely.
We think these things should be called post-consumer resources because we can recover copper, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. It allows us to put more capacity, pull out more of these critical metals from e-waste and really look at it as valuable resources.
Certainly if it could come back to industry, it's not wasteful, it is important. Glencore is in a great position right now. We have world-class smelters, we have world-class refineries already in place, and these are billion-dollar assets. These are very difficult to set up, very tough to justify on their own.
Recycling is a very expensive process, so our unit cost of recycling is much lower than a competitor who is a dedicated recycler because we are sharing in this scale of our metallurgical facilities.
Responsible sourcing is more than just getting material out of the ground in a responsible way. Recycling is another way to be very responsible in supplying metals to the market that are needed for today's life.
As a producer of copper, we're a bit responsible for the copper that we produce and what is done with it. So making sure that it's not lost, that it doesn't go to a landfill, is quite important for us.
We mine it, we refine it, we produce the metals. We want to follow the molecule for the entirety of its life. Essentially, we want to be the stewards of these products that we are mining and refining for their lifetimes.
It's great for the environment, it's great for society, it takes a lot of pressure off of mining. It's a win-win for everyone involved.